You're looking for a parking spot. The music is loud. Your hand moves to the volume dial and turns it down. The music was not in your eyes, so why did you do that? You just did something that makes absolutely no logical sense, and you do it every single time. And so does almost every other driver on the planet, without being taught, without thinking about it. Nobody taught you this. It's not in the driving manual. No instructor mentioned it. And yet, here you are, every parking lot, every tight street, every reversing maneuver, volume goes down. The question nobody has ever stopped to ask is why, and the answer reveals something remarkable about your brain. It reveals that your brain has a budget, and parking costs more than you think. Understanding that budget changes how you see almost everything your brain does automatically. The brain does not have unlimited processing power. This surprises people because it doesn't feel limited. But under normal conditions, you are not using all of it, so the limitation stays invisible. Then you enter a parking lot. Suddenly, the demands on your brain multiply. Other cars moving unpredictably, pedestrians appearing, narrow spaces to judge, children running. Your visual system is now working at maximum capacity, processing everything in your field of view. And here is where it gets interesting. Your brain recognizes the budget is getting tight. So, without asking permission, it starts cutting expenses. Sound is the first thing it cuts. Not because sound interferes with your vision. Your ears and eyes are separate systems. But the processing of both happens in the same place, your brain, with the same limited budget. When visual demand spikes, the brain reallocates. Audio processing gets defunded automatically. Psychologists call this cognitive load theory. Your working memory has a ceiling, and parking approaches it. The volume turn is your brain managing its own resources. You just happen to be the hand it uses. Now, here is the part that makes this genuinely fascinating. It's not just about parking. This same mechanism runs your entire life, every single day, in ways you never notice. Think about what happens when you're having a difficult conversation while driving. The conversation gets harder. You go quiet. You might even slow down slightly without realizing. Same mechanism. Cognitive demand spiked. Something else had to give. Or think about trying to read a sign while someone is talking to you. You say, "Hold on," not because they were being loud, because reading requires the same resource talking uses. Language and reading share working memory space. You literally cannot do both at full capacity. This is the same reason complex tasks get easier in silence. The budget has more to spend. And why the smartest people in the room sometimes go completely quiet before speaking. They are not being dramatic. They are freeing up working memory to formulate something worth saying. Now, back to the car, because there's a second layer here that nobody talks about. The volume doesn't just go down when parking gets hard. It goes down in proportion to how hard it gets. Easy spot, volume drops a little. Parallel parking on a busy street, volume goes to almost nothing. Your brain is performing real-time resource calculation every few seconds automatically, allocating, reallocating, cutting, restoring. You experience none of this. You just park the car. This is called automaticity, the brain's ability to run complex operations below conscious awareness. And here is what makes this beautiful. Your brain learned this without being taught. It noticed the pattern. Parking is harder. Resources are tight. Reduce audio. Repeat. After enough repetitions, it became automatic. Now it runs before you even consciously notice the need. This is the same process that makes experienced drivers better than new ones. Not speed, automation. The novice uses all their budget just driving. The expert has budget left over for everything else. This is why driving feels exhausting when you first learn and effortless years later. The task didn't get easier. Your brain got more efficient at running it. And the volume thing is a tiny visible window into that entire invisible system working perfectly. Now, think about what this actually means for how you live your life beyond the car. Every time you feel overwhelmed, something in your life exceeded your cognitive budget. Every time you need quiet to think, something is demanding your full processing capacity. Every time you close your eyes to remember something, you are reducing visual input to free up memory. You are turning down the volume of your eyes, the same way you turn down the radio when parking. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The brain is always budgeting, always trading. And understanding this gives you something genuinely useful. You can work with it instead of against it. Hard conversation coming? Reduce other inputs first. Create the cognitive space you need. Important decision to make? Stop multitasking. Give your brain the full budget it needs. Feeling overwhelmed for no obvious reason? Check what is consuming your budget without you noticing. The radio going down in the parking lot is not a quirk. It is your brain showing you how it works. Every single time, a small, honest signal from the most complex thing in the known universe. So, the next time someone laughs at you for turning the volume down to park, you can tell them this: you are not being strange. You are watching a 3-pound organ manage its own limited resources in real time, with zero conscious effort from you. And every time that hand moves to that dial without being told, something remarkable is happening. Your brain is doing exactly what a brain is supposed to do, protecting the task that matters most, right now, with what it has, quietly, automatically, perfectly. If this made you think about your brain differently, subscribe to Wheel and Psyche. Every week, we go deeper into the psychology behind the things drivers do that nobody ever stops to explain. Turn it up now, you've parked.